Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Guess this is the 10th, this is the 11th. This is the 11th day of Ramadan. 10th or 11th?
I think it's the 10th.
Yeah.
I feel like it's
Quite a good share. Anyway,
right. Yeah.
we welcome everyone. And we decided during this month of Ramadan to do as much Tafsir as we could. And I'm going to be reading from Tafsir, Qur'an mostly. And this is discussing the general theme is still the same about recognizing the signs of Allah, acting on the signs of Allah, the behavior that goes along with the signs of Allah, the authority and the responsibility that goes along with acting or not acting according to the revelation. Allah is consoling the messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, saying, "You should not worry at all about the united and active antagonism of the Satans against Satans amongst men and jinn against your mission. This is not a new thing that is happening to you, for it has always been happening like this to messengers. Whenever a messenger came to show the right way, all the satanic powers girded up their loins to make his mission a failure." So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is constantly reminding over and over in the Qur'an that so you see the united forces, the combined forces, that they're unified on one thing. They're unified on slowing down, diverting, or stopping your mission by any means necessary, by any means possible. It don't make no difference how low they go, from what direction they come, because you know in the Qur'an, the Iblis done told everybody, or the Shaitan done told everybody, since you've thrown me out of the way, you know, and I'm going to show you who this human being is. I'm going to wait up for him on the left, on the right, in front and behind, and you're not going to find hardly any of them grateful. They're all going to follow me. And he's got high hopes. You ain't going to find hardly none of them people worth a dime. Since you have considered him better than me, you want me to bow down and to this creature? Hey, I'll show you where he's coming from. And I'll also show you where I'm coming from. So the Prophet ﷺ is reminded over and over and over again in the Quran that your duty, your responsibility is to preach openly and clearly, and to make this message reach as many people as you can. But, as it says right here, Allah is consoling his messenger, saying, "You should not worry at all about the united and active antagonism of the Satans amongst men and jinn against your mission." So when you see men and jinn, all of them working together against your mission, this is common. This happened to all the messengers in history. This is not a new thing that is happening to you, for it has always been happening like this to messengers. Whenever a messenger came to show the right way, all the satanic powers girded up their loins to make his mission a failure. That's what they do. And remember, this is a united front, men and jinns. And they're going to incite your own internal self, your nafs. Hopefully, your nafs will work against you. You know, there's ayat in the Qur'an that Allah sent this person the truth, but he was diverted away from the truth. He began to worship his nafs, right? And now he's the same. Whether you warn him or leave him alone, he's like a dog. If you warn him, he lolls out his tongue. If you leave him alone, he lolls out. That is the habit. That is the condition. Charming things, you know, all the beautiful, charming things are all those devices, schemes, suspicions, objections, etc., that are employed by the Satans to excite and incite the common people against the message and the messenger who invites them to truth. So all the devices. Now remember, you just say, okay. If you look at our community, you see that in the United States, from our research, we haven't found anyone that faces the kind of opposition that we face. In fact, I don't even know any Masjid that you go to that the people will come up and say, hey, don't go there, don't do this, and I don't even know of any. They might say, oh, that Imam over there. Or if you look at some of the communities that used to be even one community, like in this city and other cities, they had one leader, but some would break off from the central Masjid and go over Anacostia somewhere. Some would go out to Maryland, and they all followed the same leader, but their thing was that Imam or that crew over there. This didn't happen just in D.C. This happened all over the United States. It was the community broke up into different communities. And, well, I don't like that guy, and I don't like this guy. Now remember, the shaitan got all types of stuff to incite you against following the right road. And you ain't got a whole lot of, all you got is the truth. You got the truth, and even if you have good character, say, most people are not that perfect or that good anyway, but suppose you're of normal character, but you're the leader or the imam or something like that, man, they'll wear you out. But if you do have good character, it don't make no difference. They're going to talk about it anyway. They're going to find something. And then pretty soon, the people will revolve around the rumors. They may not even know you. They know all about you. If you mention our masjid, I ain't seen nobody that didn't know. Masjid al-Islam? Yeah. They know. So the charming things, they can, look at here, they got not only the charming things, but they can offer you something. That means the system can offer you a job. It can offer you vacations. It can offer you some limited tranquility. It can offer you job security. And remember, all throughout all times, the people of Pharaoh dazzled people with all of the stuff he had. So they was dazzled. And then can you imagine that when Pharaoh, when Musa alayhi salam throws the rod and it becomes in motion, what does Pharaoh say? He say, hey, hold this guy and his brother in suspense. And send throughout a message throughout the land to bring to me all the people skilled in sorcery and magic. And when they get there, they say to Pharaoh, well, what will we get if we win? He said, I will give you basically power, authority, and then he says, I will give you nearness to me. I'll have you closest to my person. You will become my skilled advisors. That's pretty good. He's going to make you Attorney General. He's going to make that one, you know what I mean, the Secretary of State. Hey, I'm going to bring all of you posts nearest to me. Now you got to remember, Pharaoh got a lot of stuff going for him. So all of a sudden, Pharaoh says, y'all go through your stuff. And Musa alayhi salam, they say, you go and go first, Musa. So his things start moving. Then they threw down their rods. We remember the story. And so they snakes start moving too. Then they falsehoods that they faked. The Qur'an say that they ate up the falsehoods that they. So Musa alayhi salam, his staff or his snake consumed or swallowed all them guys up. And then they said, well, you got to remember this authority. Then Pharaoh says, the magicians said, that ain't no trick. We skilled in technology. We know all that. We down with that. So then they said, we submit to the God of Moses, and that's what we do. So Pharaoh's got a lot of power. What did he tell him? He said, I'll cut off you bow down to him before you bow down to me. Y'all got to be crazy. I'm going to cut off your hands and feet, what do you say, on opposite sides. And I'll stick you up on the cross. You're messing with me. And did it change it? Imagine now, these are brand new Muslims. And they getting threatened with their whole life. And they so serious about it, they say, we only know what we know. We only saw. Look, we not, ain't nothing we can do. Look, we know what's true and we know what's untrue. That's true. What you got is not true. Imagine the instant conversion and the elevated state that they ascend to. But Pharaoh kind of clears it up. He said, this guy and his brother, they want to take you out from your very cherished institution. They want a revolution. They don't want to say about snakes and all that. They want to change your whole system. That's what the Qur'an says. That's what Pharaoh know what it's about. He say, hey man, no, this ain't about snakes running around and all that. These guys, they want to put you out of your homes and they want to change your cherished institution. So Pharaoh had all that. And I'm talking about the charming things and all that. Remember, Pharaoh got all that. He can offer you all, everything that you would want materially. You can get from Pharaoh. All the magicians, the people in the news using that magic, the people in the State Department, the people, the higher up they go, the more access they got to everything. You would think that the average guy that's the President of the United States, he just want to get more girlfriends. This is almost what it is, because if you're the head of the football team, you know, all that stuff, what are they about? More girls. So when they look around, they say, well, I couldn't play football. Well, I couldn't run that fast either. Hey, I'll go to law school, get a degree, and I'll work to become congressman, senator, governor. Because look at all the guys up there. Look at what they bring up. They bring up, that's what they bring up. They bring up, I think they bring up the Qur'an is clear on it, the hadith is clear. That Allah didn't leave behind no challenge bigger than women, girls. So that's their thing. And you can see, we used to joke about Bill Clinton, that how the people of America liked Bill, you know. And you know, when Hillary was young, Hillary was healthy. Hillary was a standard, good-looking white lady, but she was extra what Negroes like healthy, they call her. You know, that girl that is stacked. You know, Hillary was stacked. That's the way to go. I mean, you'd have to be blind not to see it. And good-looking enough not to, you know what I mean, look away. And we used to wonder, boy, Bill got a problem. I guess she had more sense than Bill, so she intimidated him, something like that, that he needed to go and chase dummies. You know what I mean? But one thing you got to say about Bill, Bill was an equal opportunity fornicator. Now, Don, you see, he messed with from above average on up, looking white women. But Bill, look, if you had two legs and a split, you got action with Bill. You ever see Jennifer Flowers and all of them white ladies? They had, some of them had nose operations after they got famous. Bill didn't care, you know. And so I was in Pakistan. It was 98, it was a midterm election. They said, well, it looked like with all the trouble, Bill had been indicted and whatever they call that, impeached him. And they said, well, it looked like gonna be bad for the Democrats and all that. I said, no, it ain't. I said, them white folks and especially white women, they said, he's doing those things, and I said, they love him. I said, you know why? I said, every white woman in the United States knows, if they can get up next to Bill, whether they a little overweight, little underweight, long as they was girls, Bill would give them a shot. You could tell. You look at all the, Bill would give you a look, and that was because he was intimidated by his wife, probably. Because Hillary, think about it, remember when Hillary was young? That's the healthiest white woman ever been in the White House. Ain't no girl, maybe the Negro lady might have been close, but for white women, that girl was stacked. Remember how she did that age? But she had too much sense, so I guess she made, you know, she made Bill, she intimidated Bill. So Bill went and got dummies, just so he could feel, you know what I mean, his little manhood thing. So it's a lot of psychoanalysis going on, but the power, if you crazy, it will add on to your insanity. But if you're trying to do good, you have to be specially honed in on a few points. Number one, that everything in the society will be used against you. And anybody that's working against you will be part of the system. That means the system, whether it's Pharaoh or this system here, right? This system here. The number one enemy is Islam, is Muslims, and misinformation. the time that we have now, to just kind of take back. I had a chance to flip through the channels on this stuff, and every one, all the bad guys, it's like the days of cowboys and Indians. The cowboys was good and the Indians was bad. Every filthy thing that they use in almost all the programs, if it deals with the FBI, the CIA and all that, they're out to get the terrorists, to protect America, right? They sprinkle a few little words of truth, but I want you to imagine that it's not only 9/11 they done blamed on the Muslims. It's every one of these little shooters and all of that stuff going around that are they people, and they now, the American public is sold on that Muslims are terrorists. They just sold on that. The media has too much power, the misrepresentation. That's why the Saudis can do anything they want, because the media said on a certain, they are right. And everybody else is bad, right? Iranians is bad, and the poor Iranians, look at here. That's why I said my mouth is closed on Iran and Iranians temporarily, because their struggle, they're doing such a good job and such a big job, and they're only human beings, and they cover the whole base. You know what I mean? The military, the psychological. Can you imagine that all of the institutions, well, I guess you could, in the world are organized against Iran? All of everything. All of the economic institutions, financial institutions. And they're rolling right along. In fact, they're doing good. They're actually doing good. They told old boss man, they said, we'll help you. If y'all need some help, we'll send y'all some of this or some of that. Hey, that's big time. But anyway, remember, Allah consoling his messenger saying, you should not worry at all about the united and active antagonism of the Satans